So it's been a long time since I've seen the original movie that spawned this franchise. Came out in 2002, and I remember watching it a couple of times when it came out and really, loving it because it was not really a zombie film. It was in that same vein, but it was the movie that brought um, a bunch of people to my attention for that particular film, and it launched the careers of a lot of people. Now, I have not seen any of the additional entries into the franchise until 28 years later, which is what Chris and I just watched. And this one is a collaborative effort between Danny Boyle and Alex Garland. Now, we've seen a lot of films from Danny Boyle over the years since um, 28 Days Later, and we've seen lots of films from Alex Garland. I actually have a discussion video somewhere on Alex Garland, and his kind of arc from game development to being a book author to being a film writer and director and a TV series director. Um, I think that, for example, the show Devs that he did recently is incredible. And then the film he did with, it's the Civil War was really good too. I haven't watched Men yet. I need to go watch that. Um, but it was Sunshine. I forgot. Yeah, they did Sunshine together. These two guys did Sunshine together. But Dread, of course. But Ex Machina, that movie is incredible. Anyway, um, 28 years later, we just watched this. Apparently, this was shot back to back with a sequel called The Bone Temple, which is coming in January of next year. Um, I mean, I knew going into this that it was going to be what it is. Um, Chris had never seen the original, and so she went into this blind, and I told her that you're going to watch this with me, and then because I need to review it for the YouTube channel, and then I owe you like two films after this because this is not her style of film. So we're going to watch the new Jurassic Park movie tomorrow night, or maybe tomorrow night, the night after, and then we're gonna watch How to Train Your Dragon. And then because this film, I didn't know that he had a part in it, um, but Ralph Fiennes is in this, and I forgot that I haven't watched um, the movie that Ralph Fiennes just did recently, where he played, I think he plays Odysseus returning from the war to the island. I really want to watch that movie, so that's on my agenda now too to watch over the next week or so. Anyway, I'm like 3 minutes in. I haven't even talked about 28 years later yet. So, um, post-apocalyptic horror film. Um, it's got a stacked cast with Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Thomas, and Ralph Fiennes. Alfie Williams in his feature film debut, it says, and essentially this movie is about him, this kid coming of age on the island that they all live on, and it's 28 years after the events of the first film. And the movie kind of sets you up for a little bit of a plot twist because in the very beginning of the movie, by the way, I don't do spoiler free, so if you haven't watched the movie yet, this is the point where I should probably say, hey, spoiler alerts. I don't do spoiler free, so you've been warned. The beginning of the movie starts off when the outbreak is happening, and there's this young kid, Jimmy, who is, he's watching Teletubbies with his family, and the outbreak happens, and he runs to the church where his father is a minister, as his mom and everybody else gets, bit, and his dad gives him a cross and says, this is the judgment. Go run away and be free. Don't be scared. And then we flash forward to everybody living on an island, and it's sort of like you're led to believe that the character that we see, Aaron Taylor Thomas, or Taylor Johnson. Taylor Thomas is a different actor. The character we see Aaron Taylor Johnson playing, Jamie, you're kind of led to believe that that's the kid who we saw in the beginning, but it's not, and you don't find out until the very end of the movie, and that's when they leave you on this like cliffhanger, and it's like, are they going to do a sequel? And then I went and looked it up, and I was like, oh, they're totally doing a sequel. So, um, the tricky, trippy thing about this is that essentially the first half of the movie is about establishing that um, Aaron Taylor Johnson's character is the father of this kid, and he takes this kid out on this coming of age. trial. And his wife, the mom, is very sick with some sort of disease. They don't know what it is. They don't know what she has. But they live on this island off the coast, and we learned that the virus has pretty much been eradicated in Europe. Life has returned to normal, and it's pretty much just left in, I believe, the UK. I don't know if they specifically say, but they are living in essentially it's the British Isles under indefinite quarantine. Um, and they live on this island. It says civilized community on the holy island of Linserfarne, and it's separated from the mainland by a land bridge that disappears with the high tide. And so they can defend against the any invasions. And they go out and they forage in the mainland and bring back supplies. They go get wood. They bring back supplies. And in the beginning of this movie, um, we have this guy Jamie, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, who takes his son Alfie, um, the younger actor Alfie, who plays this character Spike. He takes Spike out as a 12-year-old kid for his coming of age adventure to go kill some of the enraged and come back to the island. Now, of course, when they're out, things go wrong. We find out about this new breed called the Alphas, who are really big and really fast, and they can command the others. And yeah, they get trapped. There's an alpha. They make it back. The alpha gets killed. Um, and when they get back, basically, there's a celebration party. And during that party, the kid sees his dad sneak off drunk and have some hoochie coochie with one of the local chicks, while his mom is in her bed completely sick. And so this inspires the kid to get pissed at his dad. But in the process of this, when he's back at the house, his dad's off partying. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. When he gets back to the house, he meets this old man, Sam, who's been watching after his mother. And Sam tells him a story of basically when they were on the mainland, they saw this fire burning off in the distance. He's like, oh, that's Dr. Kelson. And he tells the kid this story of this doctor who used to be a doctor, and now he's just an insane man who lives with him. The kid gets it in his head, well, this doctor can save my mom. So he basically the next day, after he gets pissed at his dad and everything, decides that he's going to set a tent on fire, drive everybody away from the gate, take his mom, escape the island, and take his mom out to meet the doctor, who ends up being played by Ralph Fiennes. Along the way, adventure happens. They end up finding a pregnant, infected lady who gives birth to a baby who's not infected. They meet up with the doctor. The doctor confirms that the mom, Jodie Comer's character, has cancer. He helps her move on from this mortal coil, and then the kid takes the baby back to the island, leaves the baby in a basket with a note, tells his dad, "Don't come looking for me," and he goes off to roam the island until he's gonna walk until he can't see water anymore, until he can't see the coast anymore. And along the way, and this is the cliffhanger of the ending, um, along the way, he gets attacked by a mob of zombies, and he's defending himself in this canyon, and lo and behold appears this crazy looking dude dressed in a tracksuit with a bunch of other guys in tracksuits, and he's got an upside down cross on his chest, which is the kid from the very beginning of the movie. And he's been out here surviving. He's got bad teeth. He's got these crazy guys. There's this really whack scene with heavy metal music where they kill the zombies, and that's sort of where the movie ends. Um, I don't know where it's going from here in the next film. It's gonna be very interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. Obviously, I think it needs to be paired with the follow up to see what the story is in its totality. Um, this was very. I mean, it's Danny Boyle's direction style, where it's lots of fast photography and close-ups, and In a lot of ways, it felt like low budget, old school Danny Boyle. Um, and of course, the Alex Garland script, it was interesting. Some, I think, questions on my mind. We got some more mythology about the alpha and the magic of the placenta, as the doctor said, which allows these babies to be born. We get this speech. At some point along the way, Spike and his mom meet up with this soldier who gets stranded. His whole platoon gets wiped out, and he's from Sweden, and he tells them about the rest of the world has moved on. There's internet. They've got Amazon. His best buddy's a delivery guy, and he's talking about he signed up to be the Marines, and now he's stranded on this island, and he's never gonna get back home. And he shows Spike a photo on his phone of his girlfriend right before the battery dies. And Spike's like looking at her going, "What's wrong with her face?" Because she's got like lip fillers and everything else. And it was just, they've been cut off from the rest of the world. And meanwhile, Europe has recovered and the rest of the world has moved on while England has remained under quarantine. So it was very interesting. But we do know that Jimmy, the guy we meet at the very end of the film with the upside down cross, is not a nice guy, because at some point when Spike and his dad are stranded at the beginning of the film, they find a body hanging upside down in a house, left there for the infected, and it's on the name of the body is carved on the body is carved a name with a knife, and it says Jimmy. And then we meet Jimmy at the end of the film with the upside down cross. We're like, oh, he's not a nice guy. We're gonna find out more about this later. So next film. I don't know. Have you seen this? Let me know. Thoughts below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. More film reviews, TV show reviews, game reviews, and other stuff. Daily streams at 4:30 a.m. on YouTube and Twitch. We'll see everybody in the next one.